We answer your specific questions about Scours and Coccidiosis and got all sorts of information in this one. It's packed. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart.
And I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, the Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients and Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Dakota Cowboy, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
Cattle Battle.
Call or text anytime with questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, rants. It doesn't matter. Give us a shout at 707-726-2420. That's 707-RANCH-20, 707-RANCH-20. You can text us there as well. Email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. And we're always prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. Now, this question came into us from actually a couple different listeners. So, Paul, I'm pulling you back on the program to answer these. You know, this always happens when I bring you on in regards to Farmatan and fighting Scours, keeping it out of the calves, coccidia, all those things. The first question is actually in regards to coccidiosis and weaned calves. We had a couple different outfits reach out. They wanted their locations just to not be mentioned. I completely respect that, but they had a coccidia outbreak in a group of their weaned calves that they've got on feed. So comment on that. How can we work in Farmatan into the diet, or does it work, or how do we go about battling the coccidia?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things, Tigger. One is we do make a stress tub. It's a low moisture hardware stress tub with Farmatan in it. OLS also will supply those. That's one really good option to put in a receiving pen. Secondly, Farmatan liquid in the water tank is an excellent option. It's got butyrate, some tannic acid in there, and it really seems to satisfy them nutritionally, but also it will go down through the gut lining and try and stabilize what's going on. If you're dealing with a full-on break, you got to get a hold of the veterinarian and deal with it properly. The likes of these two options are great at receiving, and then they're great to supplement whatever the vet recommends as well.
Contacting that veterinarian, yeah, that's always. In fact, we need to use our veterinarians more on a consulting basis. I say this over and over again, so I appreciate you saying that comment one more time, Paul, and offering on the preventative side how Imogene Ingredients can come in and help potentially, maybe. And my second question that comes in from listeners in Iowa are wondering about if you have a catalog of different products put together. I know we always talk a lot on Farmatan in particular, but do you have some other products available from Imogene Ingredients? Where do we go to see them? Where do we go to get them?
We've got a very good young animal or calf paste, but it'll also work for goats and lambs. It's got 8 different antibodies in there against Eroda, Corona, Salmonella, E. coli, Clostridia. It's got a special 4-strain bacillus we bring in from France to go after a lot of those same pathogens. And then it's got some Farmatan in there as well to help reduce or to begin to shut down the absorption in the gut after they've already had colostrum. It's a paste you can give them after colostrum. It's got extra antibodies in it, excellent for bred heifers, calves, for example. And I have heard quite a bit of, got a lot of calls on it where guys are getting limited on first defense type allocation. So we've developed this many years ago with calf ranchers out in Idaho. Everything in here has been measured and very impactful. Baumgars carry it, Valley Vet carries it, or you can get it from our website directly at farmatan.com. We also have a gel that's really good to stabilize a calf that's scouring. It's got some Farmatan in there, some tributyrin to help grow back the villi after a stress condition. And so, and then we finally have a drench for receiving on on feedlot cattle coming in. Very good drench. But look at it. Look, those are on the website, or give me a call. Let me know the scenario guys dealing with, and I'd be happy to help them work through the options.
Thank you again, Paul Mitchell with Imogene Ingredients and Farmatan, for jumping back in, answering a couple of questions for us. And I forgot to mention last week about how when Paul Mitchell and Paul Martin were on RFD TV talking about Imogene Ingredients and Farmatan in particular, we have the links to those videos available on our website. That just goes zoop right to them. You can check them out at ranchitupshow.com. And, of course, head to farmatan.com, imogeneingredients.com for more information on Farmatan and their other products. And, as always, reach out to Beck and I with any questions, and we will make sure that you get in contact with the Pauls. Paul 1 and Paul 2, thank you again. Paul Mitchell. And answering another one of your questions, and that is, did y'all come out with an additional program? Well, yes and no, I guess. We came out with just a weekly recap. It airs each and every Friday. It is a very quick 3-minute look of what happened this week in the ranching business. It could be from the sale barns. That's been a hot one, actually. A lot of people asking what cattle are selling for, and if there are some last-minute updates, if there are some bull sale averages and reports, if there's something that you want us to dig up. It's an additional recap, a quick snapshot of what happened this previous week. It could be something big that is hitting the news. It's the Ranch It Up, Heard It Here. See what we did there? Heard, H-E-R-D. Heard It Here weekly recap, 3 minutes in length. So you can subscribe to that and get it by subscribing to our podcast, of course. And as always, heard on this fine radio station. And if you have any questions or you aren't understanding or maybe you didn't catch it or something like that, please reach out to Beck and I anytime. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text us. Text is actually a great one, 707-726-2420. That is 707-RANCH20. Get a hold of us. We will answer your questions and make sure that that recap is coming to your inbox. If you want it emailed to you personally, we can do that as well. Before we cut to break, this definitely has to be on the to-do list to get wrapped up for 2023, and that's the reminder about the recent FDA prescription requirements. Yeah, the VCPR, the Veterinarian Client-Patient Relationship. And a reminder that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has rules in effect that require a veterinarian's prescription for several medically important livestock antibiotics that were previously available over the counter. Here's just a few things to keep in mind. You need to confirm that you have that valid VCPR, that veterinarian client-patient relationship. Either establish it or reestablish it. Revisit with your veterinarian. Take a little time. Remember, they are here to act as a consultant, not just to fix those C-sections, not just to fix those prolapses. Use them as a consultant on your operation. And that brings us to number 2. Just take some time to review your operation and work with your veterinarian to establish the disease pressures that could potentially affect your operation. Number 3, and that's focus on prevention. That's a big one. Consider products for disease prevention as part of your livestock management system that you currently have in place. Most important, though, go and visit with your veterinarian. Have them act as a consultant on your operation. We have a Zoetis link shared on our website that talks about the Zoetis products that are affected, like a common one, terramycin, LA200, right? Liquamycin, those that we're used to using and how they affect you on your operation. Go to our website, ranchitupshow.com, and we have that link available. Goes through some greater details about, what is a VCPR, the veterinarian client patient relationship, what goes into it, how is it obtained. So head to ranchitupshow.com. Now, coming up after the break, Beck has the latest news, including export numbers and this week's top hand. Keep it tuned right here, and we'll be back with more of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. Before you purchase your next set of bulls or females, remember this. The seed stock business is about genetic improvement and customer service. Allied Genetic Resources understands this as well as anyone. Marty Ropp with Allied.
That's our charge as seed stock producers is people look at us and you've got to make genetics that work better for us. We see that charge, we understand that charge, and we're going to use all the tools we can to get there.
Allied Genetic Resources, where the mission is commercial customer success. Period. LivestockMarket.com is the go-to online marketplace for livestock, horses, hay, and straw. Sales manager Mark Vanzi tells us how easy it is to use.
Cattleman can take photographs, videotape his own calves. He can upload them directly to the site. He can sell them private treaty. He can sell them on the online auction. The biggest principle behind the whole LivestockMarket.com concept is producer has complete control.
The online platform that works without all the restrictions. LivestockMarket.com. On Facebook, too. Gelbvieh and Balancer. Capitalize on crossbreeding with Gelbvieh and Balancer bulls. Raise replacement females with added fertility, increased longevity, and greater productivity. Gelbvieh and Balancer females wean more pounds of calf per cow exposed. Gelbvieh and Balancer. In the feed yard, Balancer influenced cattle offer increased performance, improved feed efficiency, and have excellent carcass merit. They add the pounds, make the grade, and deliver the value. Gelbvieh and Balancer. Make your crossbreeding count with Gelbvieh and Balancer genetics.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find. It's your all things ranching newscast, and so glad to be with you. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, call or text us at 707-RANCH20. Email ranchitupshow@gmail.com and on social media at The Ranch It Up Show. Starting us out in the news and looking at exports, according to a new analysis from the U.S. Meat Export Federation, or USMEF, the 2023 export market continues to be a stellar one for pork, although challenges remain in the beef sector. Pork exports in October were up 3% year over year, and for the first 10 months of this year, exports are 9% above the same time period in 2022. Altogether, U.S. processors have exported $6.6 billion in pork products, a 6% increase over last year. But by contrast, economic headwinds continue to affect the beef export market. Overall, beef exports were down 17% year over year, and thus far in 2023, they are down 13% from 2022's record pace. USMEF President and CEO Dan Hellstrom said, on the beef side, economic headwinds in our largest Asian markets continue to weigh on demand as consumers trade down to lower-priced proteins. He went on to say the recovery in Asia's food service sector has been limited, but we remain hopeful that it will accelerate in 2024. Recent efforts to jumpstart economic activity in these countries and address weakened currencies could also improve the business climate. Specifically, 2023's exports to Japan are down 22%, while they are down 16% in South Korea and 25% in China. Mexico, though, is yet another bright spot. Through October, Mexico's imports saw an increase of 15% over 2022. It's not plant-based, it's not meat-based, it's both. Texas-based hybrid meat company Essentia recently emerged from the shadows. Essentia's CEO said they are starting with hybrid blends that combine animal and plant protein. He said that rather than trying to make plants taste like meat, we use them to enhance meat, offering something genuinely better. The company is trying to develop products designed to what they said to outperform conventional meat. The initial product lineup will include truffle mushroom meatballs, bourbon bacon artichoke sausages, and black Angus roast shallot and shiitake burgers. Once products are finalized, the company will enter the retail market before moving into the food service.
Now, this is just trying to play on a whole new marketing venture for meat. I think it's a little ridiculous. The truffle mushroom meatballs, bourbon bacon sausages, I like that one, minus the artichoke. The black Angus roast shallot, is that how you say it? Shallot? Am I right with that?
You did.
And
say it
shiitake
right.
burgers. I mean, seriously, if you want a burger, just eat a burger.
Okay.
And then you want the vegetables on the side, have the vegetables on the side. Don't put them together.
I'm going to contradict you. I think this is a brilliant move because we ourselves, ranchers, cattlemen, we know what we like. We know what a burger is. However, we're marketing to a different group of individuals that want a little bit of an upscale feel. So when they go to a restaurant, if they read on the menu, this is a bacon cheeseburger, they're going to say, well, that's just a bacon cheeseburger. But now you all of a sudden jazz it up and say, it's an Angus roast shallot and shiitake burger.
Nobody even knows what that is.
I'm telling you, they're marketing to a whole different group of individuals and welcoming them to the beef.
I think this is a bunch of shiitake as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you and I can agree to disagree. What else do you have for us?
Oklahoma State University Extension Livestock Marketing Specialist Daryl Peel says declining cattle numbers has led to a year-over-year decrease in beef production and higher wholesale and retail beef prices. Under those market conditions, beef exports are expected to decrease and beef imports should increase, exactly the outcome observed thus far in 2023. The U.S. dollar has remained generally strong against most currencies, adding additional headwinds to exports and increasing the import initiatives. The October livestock trade data showed that beef exports were down 20.5% year over year. Total beef imports for October were up 17.4% over 1 year ago, pushing beef imports thus far in 2023 up 7.9%. That's all I've got for the news. We started a new feature here on the Ranch It Up radio show. Each week, a particular operation, business, person, outfit, bulldog, it doesn't matter, is highlighted as Tigger and BEC approved, and they are the top hand of the week. You can nominate any operation by sending us an email telling us who, what, and why. Today, our top hand goes out to the American Hereford Association Commercial Producer of the Year, Circle B LLC from Bighorn, Montana. Circle B is an eastern Montana commercial cattle operation owned by the Borman family and run by just over a dozen cowboys and their families. The Bormans breed their 1,600 straight-bred Angus cows to Hereford bulls to make uniform, high-performing baldy calves. Circle B was founded by the father-son duo Frank and Fred Borman in 1998. Patriarch Frank Borman is known as an astute businessman, not afraid to shoot for the moon, literally. Borman commanded Apollo 8, the first mission to fly around the moon. And when it comes to the Circle B, the Borman family is equally as pioneering and progressive. For more than 2 decades, Circle B has served as a textbook example of a profitable cow-calf operation, mixing management, good old-fashioned stockmanship, benchmarking metrics, and complementary genetics. For more than 20 years, Fettis Herefords of Manhattan, Montana, has served as Circle B's bull supplier. The resulting black baldy calves are uniform, fast-growing, efficient, healthy, and manageable. Circle B calves are enrolled in the following value-added programs: non-hormone treated cattle, or NHTC, where food comes from CARE certified, Superior verified, VAC 60, Superior Progressive Genetics, Beef Quality Assurance, or BQA, IMI Global Certified, and Hereford Advantage. Congratulations again goes out to the Circle B LLC, the American Hereford Association's Commercial Producers of the Year, and this week's top hand.
That's super cool that the patriarch, Frank, the dad, that he was an astronaut and was on Apollo 8. You don't hear that very often in the cow business, that somebody in the cow business, oh, by the way, I was an astronaut. Oh, by the way, I've circled around the moon.
He's literally shot for the moon.
Yes, he has.
I love it. Congratulations once again to Circle B LLC. This is Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, reporting for the Ranch It Up radio show, and that is all I have for this week. Coming up in less than 5 minutes, recaps of the markets, upcoming sales, and lots more. Keep it tuned right here, and we will be back.
Oh, yes. Yep.
It's that time of year when we're loading trailers and we're hauling cattle. Regardless of what's going on, ranching never stops. Neither should your nutrition program. With Westway Feed Products' molasses-based liquid feed supplement, you can embrace a nutrition program that aligns with your ranch's unwavering dedication. Ranching never stops, and neither should your commitment to your cattle's health. For more information and to find a Westway Feed product rep near you, call 800-800-7517. That's 800-800-7517, or visit westwayfeed.com.
Hi, this is Kim from Medora Boot and Western Wear, and wanted to let everybody know that we are now carrying our Watson boots. Our Watsons have an all-leather stacked heel, all-leather footbed, come in many, many different hides. There's ostrich, there's python, there's the rough out. We have all sizes, colors, and we'll be carrying them from here on out.
Can I interest you in live calves this winter and spring? How about getting rid of scours? I've talked about Farmatan from Imogene Ingredients before, and I'm bringing it up now because your cows need to have Farmatan in their system 90 days pre-calving to help eliminate scours. Farmatan is now on my team of experts, so if you need some more information or have questions, just get a hold of me. You can head online to farmatanusa.com. You can look up Farmatan on Facebook and Imogene Ingredients, or call 515-745-1639. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It is that time in the program we check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. Kirk, how are we doing today, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful, Tigger. As of Friday, December 8th, January feeders closed at $215.40. That's up $1.35 on the week, with the CME feeder index down $5.85 on the week, closing at $220.04. With futures up and cash down, that narrowed our basis from a negative $11.74 the prior week to a negative $4.74 this week. December live cattle closed the week at $165.60. That's down $3.50, with cash trading $170 to $171 in all areas, leaving the 5-area weighted average down $4.43 at $170.17, and a basis at a positive $4.72. So our listeners will notice that positive basis is encouraging hedged feedlots to go ahead and sell into that basis. The weekly slaughter was 635,000. That is even with last week, and 13,000 head below the same week last year. Choice boxes closed 288.01. That's probably the big bad news of the report. That's down $9.45 on the week. To wrap this up, December corn closed the week at $4.6625. That's up 1 3/4 cents on the week, and continues this kind of sideways to mildly lower trend.
Hey all, Mark Van Zee with LivestockMarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, December 20th, we have an all-class cattle online auction. Bidding opens at just $100 a head on the bread stock, $1 a pound on the feeders and calves. No reserves, all lots will sell. Featured lots include 11 Angus open replacement heifers, 575 pounds, healthy and been vaccinated. They'll make some great replacements from Williams Farms in Sparta, Tennessee. 4 Angus cows, 3 to 6 months bred, 4 and 5 years old. They weigh 1175, good eyes and feet. They're bred to a Black Angus bull from Williams Farms in Sparta, Tennessee. 16 Wagyu Holstein steers, 530 pounds, home raised, 45 plus days weaned. They're on grain, hay, and silage. And we've got a matching set of 11 heifers from Lear Dairy in Franklin, Texas, plus over 300 bales of hay, large squares, rounds, and small squares. Bidding is currently live, but all lots will sell the morning of Wednesday, December 20th. Got cattle to sell? All-class cattle online auctions, first and third Wednesday of every month, with hay sales every Wednesday on LivestockMarket.com and AuctionTime.com.
Hey folks, it's Shay here, and today we are visiting about building a strong relationship with your ag lender. So Mark Sand is going to share some tips for how to best communicate with one another and explain what that good relationship looks like and how you can stay organized as a cattle producer.
To me, the most important thing is communication. We gotta communicate both ways, but if you're coming in, we're borrowing money, you gotta be honest at what happened at the farm that year, capital purchases you made that year, and we just gotta figure everything out. You gotta communicate. The toughest conversations I have is when people don't communicate well, putting it lightly. They're not organized at what they do, okay? They come in, they got loan payments, and then they get late on loan payments or something like that. Your good customers communicate that. They make their payments. If they don't make their payment, they're going to call you and let you know what's happening. But you have to communicate with them, and I have to communicate with them.
For more tips and information on how you can do your part in staying organized and being a better businessman as a cattle producer, listen to the full episode on casualcattleconversations.com.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Before we say fare thee well, a big old tip of the hat to all of you that are out there doing your last minute Christmas shopping or just trying to get those gifts wrapped.
You got about a week, right?
Countdown.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of looking at the calendar, a little over a week away.
Yeah.
Till Santa Claus shows up.
The countdown is definitely on. And if you're looking for a last minute gift, and you know what, it doesn't even have to cost much, it's probably laying around the outfit, that would be an old bundle of barbed wire that's rusty hanging on that fence post.
Oh, you're talking about make it into a wreath, aren't you?
Yes.
Take like a lariat or something.
There you
weave
go.
It through. Okay.
You can use a wreath. You could add a little rope to it. You got an old pair of leather gloves that maybe your dad or grandpa used. Add that to the wreath as an accessory. Put a bow on it. Boom.
I think she's getting at something here. What do y'all think on that? And that's going to wrap it for today. A big thanks goes out to Paul Mitchell with Farmatan for coming back on the show one more time. Shay with Casual Cattle Conversations. Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. Mark Van Zee with LivestockMarket.com. And to you, the boss lady, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you to our partners, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Galvay Association, Imogene Ingredients and Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Dakota Cowboy, Allied Genetic Resources, Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook. We have updates there multiple times throughout the week at Ranch It Up Show. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You can call and you can text 24/7 at 707 Ranch 20. It's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.